and Dominic, Tim, Elizabeth, Delaney, Sammy. If I miss anyone, please let them know. And the rest of the staff here, thank you guys so much. My name is Christian Almeida. I'm the president of the Second Chance Foundation, and I'm also a retired Air Force veteran. I've served 2 tours in Afghanistan and 1 tour in Kuwait. And I can tell you guys that nothing can prepare me for the tragedy that we experienced last year. I went to bed on April 26th. I light a smoke, right? And then with a snap of the finger, I was notified by Jacksonville police that my son Vincent was at the hospital here. I couldn't believe it. But let's talk about Vincent for 1 second while we started the foundation. Vincent was 22 years old when he passed away. He just graduated from the University of North Florida. The year before that, his bachelor's degree in computer science. He was supposed to be a systems engineer, Florida Blue. 2 weeks after he passed away, he was going to get that promotion. He was very excited. That's why he came over here. He's been coming here since 2024. And he talks about DC, which I have no idea about. Because in my time, there's no such thing, right? We just watch 90s rock bands. I listen to hip hop, you know. I don't know anything about this. As a matter of fact, no offense to you guys. The first time I saw his outfit when he attended here, I thought it was crazy, you know. But, you know, he's doing what he loves music and he loves interacting. And one night of bad choice. That's all it is. Right? Between the medical tent and the hospital, it took 10 minutes. And the whole time, he called 3 times in the ambulance. By the time he got to the hospital, he was already way dead. So when I walked in that hospital room, and I saw his eyes dilated and flat, like a fish, I knew there wasn't any chance. And as a father, it's my only son. I'll never see him get there. I'll never see him have kids just because you made one wrong choice that one night. Now, why am I saying this? I'm not saying this to ruin you guys. I'm not saying this because I want to ruin everybody's party and them having a good time. I'm saying this because it's real. It happens to all of us, you know, because of that tragedy and what a successful young man he was. My wife, who happens to be here, founded Second Chances Foundation, right? I don't know if I'm being honest with you guys. It's a non-profit organization focused on raising awareness about the real dangers of drug overdose. Are you guys familiar with serotonin syndrome? You guys know what that is, right? That is exactly what my son experienced in his last moments. Yesterday when I met Don, I asked him, is it always the same setup over here every year? And he mentioned yes. So I was looking at the medical tent and some railings over there. Because Vincent's story was that he was staring at the sky that night. One of his friends saw him. And then he then brought him over to the medical tent. They administered some Narcan, but unfortunately Narcan does not work in cocaine and morphine. And unfortunately, that night he mixed the two. Now, I don't know what possessed him to do such a thing. Maybe he was drunk. Maybe he was high in coke. Maybe he felt invincible as a 22-year-old, right? That's why my wife founded Second Chances Foundation, so we can help raise awareness over here. Hopefully, we can partner with Breakaway for a very long time, as well as End Overdose. But we are here for that reason. Now, as a non-profit startup, you know, we're still building our program. We're still building our partnerships. We are partnered up with MSA, which is my son's organization when he was in college. And we were fortunate enough to raise awareness over there. And then now we're here, which is such an honor. You know, when I emailed the customer service email, I wasn't expecting the president of Breakaway to respond, right? Within 2 days, Jared responded. I couldn't believe it. I thought he was lying. I said, there's no way in hell the president of Breakaway company reached back to me that fast. But that just shows what kind of team and what kind of leader you guys working for, right? He cares so much, and I really appreciate that, Mr. Kuchan, from the bottom of my heart. You didn't have to do this. You didn't have to, but we're here. Thank you. And I appreciate my whole family's support. Being in this round for me is bittersweet. But this is the last location where my son was alive. He was 22. Last year, I jokingly told him, I said, son, when I get old, what are you going to do for me? Are you just going to leave me at the hospital and just let me die there? Or are you going to let me reach a senior age and just deal with me? He said, no, I got you, man. I got you. I'll take care of you. And he's such a great looking man. You know, he picked Jungkook. You guys know BTS, right? They're going to be here in 2 weeks. He was always copying Jungkook. I didn't know who Jungkook was. You know, he was copying his hairstyle. And I used to call him Jay for that shit. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? But no, that's the kind of person he is, such a successful young man. You know, so I appreciate you guys. Talk about statistics real quick, right? Because I'm just one of them. Last year, 75,000 Americans have died. Just in a mixture of cocaine overdose, fentanyl, Molly, all kinds of stuff. And 7,000 of those is from Florida alone. Now, 7,000 may not seem like a high number, but if you think about it from this context, I'm just one of the stories. If we can get the 7,000 other people and families to talk over here, it's going to last for about 2 weeks. You know what I mean? That's how many. Now, it's going on the decline every year, right? But there's still a lot of work that we need. Now, I understand we can't encourage these guys to make the right choices all the time. We can't police them all the time, right? But if we can save one fast, that's a big win for our foundation. Even just for one, if I can save fathers from going through the pain that I'm going through right now, that's a big win for us. I don't know if the foundation is going to get paid. I really have no idea. I don't even know what I'm doing with talking to you. I just want to get his story out there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just one of those stories. Now, this never once mentioned that he was using drugs. I had no clue that in rape scenes, drugs are random. Again, I've never had any experience. And part of it maybe is because of the stigma. A lot of the drug users, they're not addicts. You know what I'm saying? They just like to use it for fun. But because of the bad stigma and the label that we place for them, they're afraid to speak up. So we're here right now, we're talking about that to make sure that people know that it's okay. Talk about it. Ask for help, right? It's a simple check-in with your friend, family, brother, sister, doesn't matter who they are. A simple check-in. Really ask them how they're doing, not just a punchline like that. Like if somebody asks you how you're doing and that person responded, I'm not doing okay. Do we even know how to respond to you, right? That's going to throw us off. Because the response is always like, I'm doing great. What happens if that person tells you, no, I'm feeling like shit? How are we going to react to it? Right? So let's really think about it. Look at the behavioral changes and everything, right? Hopefully after today's event, my speech here, we can partner up with more foundations and more companies out there to get the word out there. I know we're not the only ones doing it, right? But I think the more we are, the better, right? If we can get this thing to zero, that would be outstanding, right? But I know that's impossible, right? It's going to take a lot of work. But we're going to get there. I'm not going to stop. We're not going to stop until we get there. Let's break silence, reduce the stigma, and get involved. You know, I encourage you guys to volunteer and help out, right? Partner with something. What you guys doing here are amazing. What you guys are providing for the youth, a platform where they can have fun, express themselves, and just be free. You guys are doing amazing things. My actual job is I support the U.S. Navy, right? I manage the drone program for the Navy. It's called Triton. And our main mission is intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, right? When my employees come up to me, it's like, sir, I'm getting tired of the job that I do. I always tell them, ultimately, what is it that we do? It's certainly not just powering on services, making sure that the drone is operational, right? Can we say that we're saving lives? Yes. Because the intel that we're providing for them ultimately reaches back down so that way they can react and save lives. So technically, it's not just a punchline. We're saving lives. What are you guys doing? You guys are saving lives as well. You guys are walking around out there, making sure that everybody's okay. So it's not just a job. It's for the people and the youth. I was 22 once. I thought I was invincible. I can do anything, right? But now I'm 43. Definitely not invincible. I can barely get up from bed to other. You know what I mean? But you guys are young. Most of you guys look beautiful. Everybody's beautiful. Are you only hearing beautiful people, Dominic? Even Dominic is beautiful when I first met him. I was like, oh my god. But no, I want to close out just showing my appreciation for you guys. The Breakaway, I'll never forget this foundation because the very last thing my son experienced in his entire life. You know, when we immigrated from the Philippines to the U.S., I didn't speak English, right? I didn't know what I was going to do over here. And then my son immigrated years later. He also did not speak English. But America is the land of opportunity, and over here we fulfill all of our dreams. You know what I'm saying? And I did not know that this type of tragedy was struck to our family. You know, it could happen to anyone. It could happen to anyone. Alright? So please, let's support each other. Second Chances Foundation. Please visit the website. It's called secondchancesforall.org. Our Instagram is called secondchancesforall.fl. We're taking donations from anyone. It's a non-profit. So we're not going to profit from any of it, you know. Although if you guys see me driving a yacht in my Instagram, just know I get paid a lot of money, so I can afford it. Okay? But again, so much appreciation for Breakaway and everyone. Let's have a safe event, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all tonight. Thank you very much.